let's talk about this because it's one of the bigger rumors over the last couple weeks. With WWE, it's been reported that Kevin Owens versus Steve Austin is quote unquote penciled in for WrestleMania. The various reports, it would be Austin's first match since WrestleMania 19 in 2003, where he lost to The Rock. And the reports like this week, because I know Owens and Rollins are in the tag team title match in not this coming Monday, but the following Monday on Raw. Once that storyline gets wrapped up, then that is when Austin is expected to make his return. But like, I guess we'll start with this. Like, how if it's definitely happening, let's go on the presumption that it's definitely happening. Like, how would you book Austin's return and setting up the match? Because like, we're talking about a guy that has not wrestled in nearly 20 years. Like, what's the catalyst for bringing him back now? Is it just because Owens uses the stunner and WrestleMania's in Texas? Like, how would you book the return? Why now?
I think it's a simple step. You have maybe you have the Owens talkie interview segment, and he brings out a great Texan because he's been running down Texas, and Austin's from Texas, and they come out, and Austin's like, I've seen you kind of do my stunner. I don't know what's up with that, but you don't do it as good as me, son. And everybody's like, what? And they like kiss, and he's like, what? And then say something else. He's like, what? And he just stuns him, and that sets up the match. It's pretty easy. It's wrestling. It's easy shit. Just what? Easy stuff. What's your favorite match? What?
I mean, better Austin saying it than the fans too.
Oh, we're gonna have an entire month and a half of the fans just saying
what?
Oh,
absolutely. I mean,
it could happen tomorrow in Hershey. It won't.
It won't happen.
What?
It might.
Mark, are you going tomorrow?
Now the devil's in on it.
Are you going with cousin Brian?
No, he won tickets. I had to pay for mine, so he'll be there, but I won't be sitting with him. And
wait, that guy won tickets and isn't taking his favorite cousin.
I know.
Third row tickets to boot.
Who's he taking?
What the hell's he taking?
I think he's taking his daughter. I think second cousin Betty's going.
Who the hell
Betty's going?
That?
I think he's taking.
Tell
Betty.
him to leave that floozy at home and take you.
He should. I already bought tickets though.
I mean,
give them to her.
Yeah, give her the crap tickets.
Hold on. How can Satan be way out of line? He literally just gave us his Mount Rushmore, and number one is Chris Bowflex. At the end of the day, how are we shocked about anything he said? He said that he likes black licorice. He picked whales, and his favorite athlete of all time is Chris fucking Bowflex.
Devin's not wrong.
No out of line.
Devil, who's
they have
favorite
sold out
NFL running back of all time?
Oh no!
Who's my favorite running back of all time?
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith.
Oh, it's got to be the Juice, baby.
Thank you, Devil.
Let's go, OJ.
It's gotta be the Juice.
Let's go, OJ.
I mean, Devin, if you wait until tomorrow when people just panic sell on StubHub, you could probably get the tickets for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
They did have upstairs tickets at the Giant Center that were selling for $30 that on Ticketmaster resale right now are $180. So
I mean, they announced Lesnar's there, Rousey's going to be there. I mean,
that's
right.
Wild.
It put butts in seats.
It sure did. As long as there's a butt every 18 inches.
That's right, JR.
That's the
so the name of the center it's the Giant Center. Is that the name of the place?
Yes.
Okay, Big Mac, don't make fun of it.
It's a local grocery chain.
No, I know Giant. I grew up in Virginia. We had him in Virginia.
Got you.
My question is,
that's a different Giant. It's not the same.
Why isn't it the Hershey? Why isn't it the Hershey chocolate arena? I don't understand it.
Isn't it a bit?
You make money selling it to Giant
themselves. Yeah, they can't make money if they sponsor their own arena.
They also somehow have the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, and there's not a fucking Smoothie King around.
Well, right, but the Hershey Corporation can't make money if they name their own arena.
They also couldn't name the arena in New Orleans the Drunk in Public Arena.
I would have settled for Shark Attack Arena or the Hurricane Arena because those are the two drinks of choices when you're getting shit faced on Bourbon Street.
The good old Slurricane.
Oh,
Yes.
Slurricane.
I went to a much darker place when I thought New Orleans and Hurricane.
Wow.
I know her too.
What the devil's
tonight's
going
game
on?
From the Do You Want a Floater of 151 Arena in New Orleans. The
Oh
Pelicans.
no!
The Pelicans versus the Wizards.
Let me get a handle of Moonshine Arena.
Wow. And anyone else wanna take
I think that this could be a fun thing. I think obviously this match is going to be the equivalent of Rock versus Eric Rowan, where it's just literally going to be ding ding ding, miss, kick, stunner, drink a lot of beer, say what a lot, and have some fun. Yeah, throw some birds.
Yeah,
so
the build-up will be fun.
right. It's not going to be a Meltzer 5-star classic by any stretch.
Thing looking at this though, and we talked about it a little here with the whole Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair butts in seats night 1. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, butts in seat night 2. You have to start putting some stuff with it that's going to help put the butts in the seats for the first couple hours of the show.
Right.
Austin is an immediate sell. Austin is an immediate get for them there. Obviously, Texan in Dallas, filling up Cowboy Stadium 2 nights. It doesn't get more Texas than Stone Cold. And I think that's something that you have to think about. Ronda's obviously main eventing night one of the nights because she's probably the biggest women's draw that they could get.
I mean, it's regardless of. I mean, you could have.
Britt Baker was busy.
You could put. You know,
She's on call that weekend.
She had some dentistry stuff she had to get done.
You could put 100,000 chairs in a field in Boise, Idaho, and you put Steve Austin on the card, and people are showing up because it's Stone Cold. I mean, he's still the biggest.
Would you call it Fighter Fest and then just basically cancel
not
it
do the show?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it. I mean, in Texas helps, but I think no matter where it is at this point, like people are.
I think the emergency. I think their emergency stopgap for Mania going in the Hall of Fame this year. I think it's like a reality that he's not going to wrestle at Manias anymore, and that's Taker. So it's one of those where your emergency stopgap isn't there to go to. On you got to fill that thing 2 nights, and as someone who went the one night that it was there and getting 103,000 people in that building. Trying to do it back-to-back nights is going to be extremely difficult if you don't start loading this card up with other matches that people want to see.
Oh yeah, and I think at some point, if they haven't already, you're going to start seeing 2-for-1 tickets. Like if you buy,
you can go on right now and you can buy a combo ticket because
I was going to say, because they buy for Saturday, get for Sunday as well.
Yeah, there's combo seats. There's a couple in the 200 level that are going for like $450. So you're basically paying $2.25 for each night. So it's not that bad when you think about it from that perspective. But what I'm saying is even getting the single nights or the double nights, whatever your ticket prefer is, I think that you still have to start looking at it as you can sell them buy one get 3 free. You can buy both nights at the same time. If you don't start loading the card up soon, you're gonna start missing because we only have like 40 days.
37 as of today. It's 37 days until WrestleMania.
So I mean, 37 days. And what matches do we?
Somebody should do a countdown every day.
We probably should do that. I don't want to steal anybody's gimmick, so I'm not going to start now.
Makes sense.
I don't want to be that guy.
So 37 days, and we have like 5 matches announced. I mean, I think this is like I obviously think we're getting Damian Priest versus somebody of some kind of merit based off of his promo. Edge is probably going to take on probably AJ Styles, if not Cody, based off of what he said on Raw. So you got to start. It's got to start molding itself. I'm surprised we don't really have another women's feud besides the 2 titles. I really feel like they.
Yeah, so I mean, night 1 you have Charlotte versus Ronda. Like this is on YouTube or the YouTube Wikipedia. Jesus Christ.
Close enough.
So penciled in for night 1 on Wikipedia. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda. And then, your other matches are Edge versus to be announced, Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
God, that's gonna be awful.
It's going to be awful, but it's smart business.
But Logan Paul sells seats just like Stone Cold.
Exactly. It's smart
as
business.
much as it's annoying.
It's the same reason why, like Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper and all of that were involved with WrestleMania 1. It's the Yes, Devil?
So you can go ahead and try to poop on Logan Paul being in the match, but we were pooping
next
on.
He's gonna show up drinking a fucking prime drink. Shut up, Devil.
No, we were pooping on Bad Bunny at WrestleMania until Bad Bunny actually did his WrestleMania thing.
Who was?
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Logan Paul has nothing but free time on his hands. He can be at the Performance Center for this entire time working with The Miz and Rey and Dominic to put on a fantastic show at WrestleMania.
But the devil not. He's going to be doing cocaine and strippers.
Give the devil his ding. Then you have Becky and Bianca and Brock and Roman. So you literally have 5 matches announced so far.
Cool. So we have 14 matches that we probably have to set. And we have 9 to go. Yeah, we got to start getting some shit together because if not, we're going to be up shit creek without a paddle.
Well, yeah, no kidding, Devin. They don't have women's tag teams. Who even is the? Is it still Queen Zelina and
Vega and Mella?
Oh, no shit.
Let me guess. They've never defended the titles once. I bet.
Oh no, they probably defended them against Rhea Ripley and the superhero girl before she turned on her.
Oh, Ryan's favorite wrestler. That's Ryan's favorite wrestler.
What a trash gimmick.
Do you have that shirt near you, Ryan? Just remember to show the people.
Fucking A.
But yeah,
shirt. A darn nice
great shirt. It's a great shirt.
You better put it on. Your mother bought it for you, and she's coming in to check pull up on you on the podcast.
What an awful
look!
I bought it for. Look at a little butterfly.
The butterfly in the back makes it so much
shit.
better.
That matches the one on your back.
You were there when I got that tattoo, weren't you?
I was. Somebody had to support you.
I was. It was in a dark time.
It looks great. I like when you bend over to pick something up and your shirt rides up a little bit and it's exposed just for a second.
You like that?
You do enjoy that.
That's why you always drop those pennies around me, huh?
Yeah, Smokey, could you pick up
look,
that
Ryan,
penny
another
for me?
penny. Oh shit!
Oh, thank you.
Too. How do you like that?
How do you like that? Oh, that looks like there's a nickel over there, Ryan. Can you pick that up for me? I dropped my pencil. Thank you.
I dropped my pencil.
I dropped my pen cap. Can you pick up my pen cap? Oh, it's under the table. No, it's a little further back there.
I think you can book Austin's return as simple as, he can put Kevin Owens over. I think you can do it as simple as he handpicked Kevin Owens to be the guy that he has one last match with, or that he came out of retirement for, or whatever, however you want to say. Because there's been rumors this week that the next Saudi show, Austin's going to wrestle that one and get paid, I forget the obscene amount of money. Just for that.
Is he going to wrestle the Texas Tornado?
No, he's in hell too, probably.
Oh, jeez, Mark.
Devil, can you confirm where the Von Erichs
you got Kerry down there?
Is there any significant recognizable features about him that I may know him by? There's a lot of people down here.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's leaning in the corner.
He's missing a foot.
You have to be a little more specific. We have a lot of.
Was it left foot?
You got a lot of 1 foot fellas down there.
1 foot fellas.
You got to earn your keep down here.
Oh,
his friends call him Eileen, if that helps you.
Oh my god.
Eileen.
I'm assuming that Woodfoot he had burned up.
Oh.
Eileen. I was calling Eileen. Never mind. My daughter yells, "What? Her name's not Eileen. It's Lauren."
I think, so to make another wrestling point,
Oh,
I feel like we're overthinking how Austin's going to be used. Austin will absolutely be the host of WrestleMania, and as Kevin Owens talks down the great state of Texas, that is Stone Cold Steve Austin's cue setting up the Saudi show where Austin
That makes
faces Kevin Owens in Saudi Arabia.
So you don't think he actually has a match at Mania?
No, there's no way.
Huh.
I mean,
No.
unless it's like the Eric Rowan Rock, where it's just literally like
0.0, Jim.
Devil, I'm not going to
I'll
allow you to
take-
say
I'll
that.
take-
You know
I'll
what?
take
Fuck this.
four-
Shane McMahon. Nope, can't do that, Devil.
Oh,
That's on you.
In the world.
the devil made him do it.
I actually enjoy it.
The damn
almost
devil
as much as
enjoys
black
it.
licorice.
Devil made him do it. Yeah, Devin's got a good.
I was actually going to say that.
Devin's got a good point there. Open
I was
chat.
actually gonna make that point that Kevin can come out and say I challenge anybody from this shithole of Texas.
There you go.
to
They
a
can't
match
do a Texas street fight, Devin. AEW just did one of those in Cleveland 2 weeks ago. So,
But here's the thing:
The,
if
Cle-
he
the Cleveland
challenges,
Steamer street fight.
if he challenges anybody in Texas, that leaves Mark. It could
No.
be the
Fair point,
Undertaker.
too.
no, I
He
don't
came
think
out
you do
and
Mark
lands
in
a
Texas.
tombstone.
Yes, you can.
I mean,
The Hall
either
of
way,
Famer.
if he's
Only if
open,
it's on a Tuesday.
if he's issuing an open challenge, Owens is losing that match. Like,
That's why. I think,
Owens
that's
is
why I think.
definitely
for
losing
sure.
the match.
That's why I think Austin coming out hitting him with a stunner and being like, "What?" and pin him, and then Kevin wins the rematch.
I think the crowd would pop like crazy for that. I mean, you hit the glass. He comes out doing his
Oh,
shit. Pop, pop.
Easy.
One, two, drink. Fingers, you're done.
Throw them IPA.
It's a WrestleMania moment that.
Well, I
that
think the new Stone Cold, the Broken Skull Lager comes out around Mania season.
Cool.
So they're
Let's
gonna
have it for
pedal-
sale
they're
at
gonna-
Mania so I can drink it.
They're gonna pedal the shit out of that beer at
So-
Mania.
Carmella and Zelina Vega have defended or won the titles for a total of 7 minutes and 50 seconds on TV in the two matches that they've had.
So
So,
let me guess, they were both against Rhea and Nikki.
oh yeah, 100%.
ASH,
100%. Yep. And their matches
That's actually
in
more
dark
than
matches,
Shinsuke Nakamura, though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it is.
That's
By about
sadly,
7 minutes.
sadly true.
They have 4 title defenses on house shows, but nobody gives a shit about those.
That doesn't count, I don't think. God, does that count? Or excuse me, Devil, does that count?
Wow.
No.
No.
Okay, I was just confirming.
Only if they lose the titles, right? Like the Bret Hart winning in Saskatchewan from Flair.
Right.
Just want to clarify. Thank you.
Saskatchewan's beautiful this time of year.
Is it? I don't think it is. I think it's probably
Saskatchewan.
real cold. Any other thoughts on
Saskatchewan.
the Austin
Frigid.
return? There was another report from Meltzer last week that another Austin level surprise is still in the works for Mania. Like,
Dwayne?
what is
Dwayne?
it? I mean, is there anybody except for Dwayne that could be?
it could be Mark from Texas.
So I was prognosticating this earlier today, and I was going to try to save it for a show topic, but we've naturally brought it up. So here's the theory crafting, okay? As of today, Roman Reigns has been WWE champion or Universal champion for 542 days.
Okay.
If he holds that title all the way to Mania, it'll be 579 days because there's 37 days left until WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
He then beats Brock for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, which would make him double champ.
Correct.
Champ.
They could start making a point of him chasing the lineage of the longest reigning champions in WWE history. And since he'd have 2 titles, you could technically count each day twice, which in the span of a year from Mania to Mania, he would have roughly 1,300 consecutive days as WWE champion. 365 times 2
Right.
plus 570.
Okay.
1,300 around roundabouts there. If The
That's a lot
Rock
of days.
shows up at this Mania after Roman wins both and calls his shot for Mania in Los Angeles,
Ooh.
then Roman has double champ all the way to Mania in LA.
Man, are you?
Rock beats him and then somebody cashes in Money in the Bank that
The
night.
Rock
Ship it. Let's go.
loses. The Rock
Let's go.
loses, and someone cashes in Money in the Bank.
Man, are you really gonna do
There's no way you keep Brock away from the gold for a whole year.
double?
There's
champ?
no way you're having Brock work Mondays and Fridays.
No, I agree with that. There's no way Roman
is there a way
carries
that we
that
just get out
a
of this
full year.
altogether? Does this
Somebody
match
beats
just not
Brock at
end with
MSG.
Does this match just not end in a disqualification and we just fucking
Oh God!
both guys and we just boo everything out of the building and we
Oh
really just give them
that's
the Stone Cold double bird and then both walk out with their belts and we're just like,
your way out is
wow,
MSG, the MSG house show. Someone's got to wrestle Brock Lesnar, right? If Bobby can't, somebody else will.
right. That's what they.
They're not going to do it at a house show,
Bobby.
but
I mean, if you're talking about MSG, are you talking about like the soy sauce content? Or are we talking about like?
Yeah.
Man, I don't see them because I don't see them having Roman as Universal Champs in SummerSlam or 2020 or Night of Champions 2020 to and win the WWE.
I don't see him holding
Mania.
both for that long. That's
a long time. Don't be wrong.
From your fans.
This Roman reign has
I
been
absolutely do.
Man, this this Reigns reign has been fantastic, but that's unless you actually start building up the Intercontinental and US titles, that's a big ask.
Can the person that wins Money in the Bank be John Cena and John Cena win one of the titles at the following year's Mania?
I mean, it could happen, I suppose.
Or is John the Austin level and it's not The Rock, but everybody wants it to be The Rock because we want Roman versus The Rock in LA.
Yeah,
I think
does everybody want it to be The Rock?
I mean, it feels like
I think there's not many people that are that big.
It feels like that's the end game.
Rock, Cena, Austin.
The word surprise and Austin level, it can't be Taker to fill that role because Taker's going to be there for his Hall of Fame.
Right.
Come out on the stage. So like cross Taker off the list.
That's awesome.
with the Owens thing. So you're literally down to John Cena, The Rock.
Right, because Hogan's not a good surprise anymore.
A return of Triple H to have another Roman Reigns Triple H match?
I don't know if Triple H's health allows that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like Shawn Michaels, I mean, which person is he looking at? The one over here or the one over there?
I don't think Cena risks what he has going on right now in Hollywood either. Like he's on the level of Dwayne at this point. And if Dwayne is playing it safe, not doing it, I don't see Cena saying, yeah, sure.
And I mean, like
Cena had it safe with Bray Wyatt. That was totally controlled. He didn't have to worry about that.
And I mean, Cody would have been a surprise if the news like wouldn't have broke that he's expected.
That's
to show
not
up,
Austin level,
but he's not Austin level surprise either.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's more of a guy who comes out and wins.
He's Raw after Mania. He's not
even Dusty level.
Is Batista that level?
In Tim's
not
eyes,
to me.
In our buddy Tim's eyes, but like, I don't think he.
I'd almost rather have Cody show up as like a mystery entrant in the ladder match and walk out with like the U.S. title.
Yeah, something
like that. Is there anybody in AEW that you would put? I mean, anybody. If
what about a returning Bray Wyatt? Does that get that level of pop?
It might.
It does.
I think
that's a big surprise.
I know for us it does. Like, but to the casual,
I think the Mania crowd pops big for that.
I think
the Mania crowd looks for moments.
The Mania crowd, if they were there last year, saw how shitty that match that was his last match in WWE was done. I don't think it gets the pop that he should.
And I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters.
That one left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. There was a lot of people that walked out of that building that night that were just like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Right,
there were a lot of people watching at home.
Right, because he lost and it was weird. I think a year away. I think the reaction Especially,
I don't think it's Austin level.
The whole thing was shit. He's burned to a fucking crisp. How do we get him unburned so he can actually perform in any sort of outfit?
So
that was so bad.
Everybody, you can actually
does
close
a bird
your
guy
eyes.
even look like that, Satan?
No, he doesn't. So if you can close your eyes or you cannot close your eyes, but just imagine this, okay? It's the end of night 2 of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns has successfully defeated Brock Lesnar to win the WWE title, and he's got the Universal title. And Roman Reigns is celebrating. And all of a sudden, while he's celebrating, the music cuts off, the lights start to come down, and you hear the theme to the Firefly Funhouse. You think that the fans from WrestleMania are going to focus on that time that spooky Alexa Bliss did something to the Fiend? Or are they going to be, holy shit, the Fiend is back, and he's going after double champ Roman?
Yeah,
I don't think you play the theme to the Firefly Funhouse. You have the sound effect of the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his.
Here's the response from every fan. Holy shit, he's another victim to Roman Reigns. Because they're not going to let him beat Roman Reigns.
But also Bray Wyatt technically has not had his rematch for the Universal Championship since losing.
I think Bray and Bray's size makes him a viable person to beat Roman Reigns. I think Cesaro had a really good match with Roman Reigns. I mean, to bring up somebody that was in the news today. And I was believing that, Roman, he is vulnerable at times. Just because we haven't seen him be vulnerable lately.
If you're getting him both belts and you're getting him on both shows to help both shows out and to make him this 1,300-day champion, if Bray Wyatt shows up, most people are going to go, great, here's the next victim for Roman Reigns.
Right, but here's the thing. I know what the devil said. I'm not saying that Bray returns to confront Roman. I think if if he's the Austin level surprise, and again, that was just the quote that Uncle Dave used, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. I think if you hear the Firefly Funhouse music, I think no matter who's, if no matter who's in the ring talking, if the lights go out, Fiend style, I think that gets the reaction. I don't think in that moment, because again, we're talking about WrestleMania moments. I don't think in the moment people are thinking, oh God, that match last year sucked. I think people are reacting to, oh my God, he's actually back. Because I think there's a big assumption here that whenever he returns to wrestling with a lot of people, that he's not going to end up back in the WWE because of what happened a year ago. So
it's that, or it's got to be a hologram.
He has to come back as the Fiend, though. Is everyone's if he comes back as Bray Wyatt with the floral pattern shirt, the fedora, we're not as excited.
Or as something,
I think it's got to be the Fiend.
Or it could be new. What if?
Right. Something.
If he comes back as something new, I think that flops hard with the crowd.
I think it's going to flop no matter what.
I think burned.
A friend of mine just makes a very valid point, and I'll let him explain it real quick. And how's it going?
Hey, Craig. That guy.
There's Craig. Hi, Craig.
Yes. What's going on, fella?
Wait, I don't have my
glasses. It's intern Craig.
Wait, hold on, because I'm
blind
Craig.
That's got to be Craig.
Craig's blind as a bat.
I've met him. I don't know those guys.
Yeah, those are the other guys.
Guys, how we doing? Listen, just real quick, I was just listening to you guys. If they're building champion versus champion, your two biggest guys in the business, and then 30 seconds later, you're going to take away from that with somebody coming out of the back. I just don't think they do that moment then. I think, like Mike was saying, he goes, the only person who's bigger than that moment would be to bring out The Rock. Anybody else, they're not bigger than that moment of these two going for one title. So that's just my thing. Save it for Raw.
Good point.
That's valid. I think we're thinking that the moment would make the person coming out of the back and not the person making the moment fully. I mean, I get that. That's a huge point. You don't want to take away from that, but we're also talking about Vince McMahon and the WWE.
That's also facts.
I mean, he's not
Very
promoter
true.
of the year
or booker of the year.
Is there anybody in AEW that is a big enough surprise that would and again, I'm taking money away. CM Punk would be the only one.
Moxley.
I mean, Daniel,
Jericho,
maybe.
Jericho. Yeah, I think Jericho would get the reaction.
I don't think Jericho's a viable.
I feel like if the Yes music hit, if the Yes music hits, I feel like that gets a big enough pop.
I think you're probably right too.
I think that does. Yes.
I think those are
if Mox comes out and lays out Roman and just tries to fucking tear apart the Shield
that would
especially
if
Wild Thing hits, I think people lose their goddamn mind. If Wild Thing hits, I think
definitely not the Dean Ambrose theme.
No, definitely not Dean Ambrose.
No. Jeepers, no.
You could bring Mitch out with him, that fucking plant.
Moxley, Punk, Jericho, Daniel Bryan. I think those are your four.
I don't think anyone who's kind of made their name in AEW gets a big enough pop. Like I don't think Darby or MJF or Luchasaurus.
I don't think.
I mean,
Kenny
if Jungle
Omega
Boy's
gets
music
that big
hits,
of a reaction.
Kenny Omega probably does, but he's not like a huge
is
AEW
there
made star. Like he was established.
Is there anybody because of the weekend that it is, and that most people there are going to watch other shows? Is there an independent wrestler or something that they could have or a New Japan guy that they could bring in that would get some kind of reaction?
I don't think.
I don't think a New Japan guy gets a reaction in the WWE. They could trot out fucking Okada, and half the people are going to say, "Who?" Jim's going to be like, "What?"
If you think of the biggest names on the indie scene, I don't think if Nick fucking Gage comes out, 20% of the audience probably reacts, if that.
Right.
Jonathan Gresham is probably the same.
I mean, I'm not shitting on Gage Gresham.
If he comes out, it's not gonna pop the
Cardona might get a reaction.
Even if he came out, I don't think he does.
Cardona would get a reaction if he came out to host.
Right. If the woo 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 hits, then maybe. But
yeah.
Right.
And
I mean, absolutely no more than what we've already said. No, it's not.
It's just.
I think Jonathan Gresham is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
And him standing in a ring to Roman Reigns will not look good. That's not a good visual.
And Nick Gage has a huge following for an indie wrestler, but again, that's maybe a small percentage of the WrestleMania round.
I don't think Gage boosted AEW Dynamite ratings when Gage was on Dynamite.
No.
Not really. I mean,
Nick Gage is also under an exclusive contract with GCW.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair. Good for him to get that money.
If you don't think that,
I was going to say, I'm sure Brett could be convinced.
I think Vincent Kennedy McMahon, if he really wanted Nick fucking Gage on WrestleMania, could pay off Brett Lauder to get Nick Gage on that show.
What if in the moment the Austin level person that comes out is Vince McMahon's quads from the Royal Rumble that he blew out?
He never made it to the ring.
Just his quads.
Not
the rest of him, just the quads.
They wouldn't make it. Devin weighs in here. He says it's either going to be The Rock or The Fiend.
What if so?
Oh, it's either going to be either of those two.
What if it's The Fiend, but not after the Roman match? Are we still happy with that?
Absolutely.
Or if
Roman just walks out?
What if it's Wyatt family?
Is he
Wyatt?
catching flies?
Right. What if that track hits?
Absolutely. That gets a huge reaction.
You think it gets as equal a reaction as him coming out full mask Fiend?
Yeah.
So what if it goes back to he's been gone for a year and the person that he comes back after is the guy who put him away? What if it's Orton? What if Orton is in a match of some sort, and it's Orton after the match on night one?
Fucking hate that so much.
but But that's the point. You
Right.
hate it because it's Orton, but him doing it against Roman, we'd love it. At the end of the day,
No, we hate it because of that. Now that is an absolute reminder of how shit ended a year ago.
To be honest,
you don't go
to
anywhere
Mike's
near
point,
with
I probably would. There would be a part of me that's like they're going to bring him back and feed him to fucking Roman. That would be a part of my thought when he comes back. And I'm not saying that I would still pop huge for that moment, but part of me, like the same thing when Cena came back. Like when Cena's music hit and he came back to challenge Roman a few months ago, I marked out huge for that moment, but part of me was like, they're bringing him back to feed him to Roman.
Right, but again, in the moment, I don't think it matters.
Because it takes out Riddle.
I don't think it matters how you bring. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you just bring out Bray Wyatt or the Fiend to stand in the ring and return.
What if they bring back
Husky?
What if it's Husky Harris?
Then that's a problem.
I will quit.
What about Michael McGillicuddy?
Do they bring him back though with like Eric Rowan?
No.
Yeah,
if they do the Fiend, there's no need for that.
So
even if you bring him back as Wyatt family, you can bring him back. You can,
like
you
if
bring
you bring
him back.
I don't know though, because if they bring him back as Wyatt family and they have Braun and Rowan with him, that's
well,
that
no,
gets me a little more
Braun's
excited.
over there controlling his narrative with all the other heathens, and then God knows what Redbeard's doing. So
he's still recovering from his stairs match against the Big
That's
Show.
true. Yeah,
I think when it comes to Bray, if it is Bray, the Wyatt family Bray makes sense if they bring others back with him. I don't if he's going to be a loner and he's going to do his own thing, like bringing back Fiend Bray Wyatt is the route to go.
Yeah,
bringing back Wyatt family Bray, you have to have
without a family. Yeah, you can't bring him back without a family.
You can have a new family though, because like here's the thing: the original Wyatt family. I mean, God knows what Redbeard's doing, but unfortunately, Brody Lee is no longer with us, and Braun Strowman is no longer with WWE. So, like, you can have a new family, and that's part of that story. If you bring back Wyatt family,
he can bring everybody's favorite bioluminescent brand wrestling member, Jeep Van Wagoneer, as one of the newest members of the Wyatt family, and they can find some other scrub, and we can have the new Bludgeon Brothers, and the Wyatt family.
There you go.
I don't think you can do the Wyatt family. I really don't. I feel like Haida Powers Fiend is so much stronger than Haida Powers Bray Wyatt.
If he's coming back, I think it will be the Fiend. The question that was presented, does Wyatt family Bray work? I think it does.
I don't.
But I don't know that you open up that box because you don't have Brody anymore.
I think it absolutely makes 100% more sense to have the Fiend come back. My question was just, are we as excited as a Bray Wyatt family without a family?
I think if you present the two Bray Wyatts that we've known in WWE, both of them get the same big reaction. 100%.
I think Fiend gets a bigger reaction than Wyatt family Bray.
I think might get a little bit bigger, but I think Wyatt family Bray still gets
I mean, that's like saying you can get American Badass Undertaker or the Undertaker. Both will get a pop, but everybody's popping for the funeral dirge, and not as many people are popping for Roland.
I don't know. You're in Texas.
Jim.
Oh, that's true.
Loves Kid Rock too.
You're in Texas.
Kid Rock.
You're in Kid Rock's backyard down there with all.
That's not a bad.
Kid Rock comes out with the fedora and starts singing "I'm an American Badass." Jim, that's.
You better hope I'm not at your house, Matt, because I will fulfill the promises of Zach.
Biker Mark is Wrestler of the Week #1, and Kid Rock is 2 in Jim's list. Though,
because I will finally destroy your home. But speaking of Undertaker, let's close with this.
Such a nice home too.
It is a beautiful home. I don't want to destroy.
Beautiful home.
Very nice home.